Can y'all hear me? I know there's a couple guys in here already. Never done a YouTube live. If y'all can hear me, just type something or let me know. But if not, I'm going to go and finish up what I was doing. Not expecting a ton of people in here because it's Friday and everyone's just getting off work, but I didn't want to do it too late either. JD, can you hear me? Oh, sweet. All right, so I guess we are live. Hey, how's it going? So, I'm finally after 8-9 months back in business, and this is the new bait cave. It's still got a lot of work to go, but it was cool that I got a window in here so I can see out, and I find it very cozy in here. But yeah, it's been a long road, but these last 7-8 months, they've tested me. But we're here, we're alive, we're making baits, we're all good. So that's what we got going on now. But I'm counting on a lot of people watching this after it goes live, just because I'm not that big of a channel, and like I said earlier, everyone's getting off work. So I'm just gonna go through and do like I would if I was doing a regular video. And I'll show you guys my new organizer board I made. It's pretty cool. I just used leftover lumber I had from the old workshop, and went to Home Depot, got some pegboard, and nailed it up. It's been working pretty good. Had to buy some caster wheels, so this moves around. I want to buy another one. I need one more, and I think I'll be good for my little small business. But it's filling up. I'm getting a lot of orders, so I'm filling it up, and then I'm bagging stuff up and shipping it out. So all that's good. Got a little work table over here that I built and added in. All my glitters and powders are up there. All my pigments up there. But yeah, so I'm making today, I'm going to be doing a like a capsuled swim bait. And since I'm out here in San Diego, everyone ocean fishes out here. That's what everyone's telling me. But I guess the main bait fish out here is like sardines and mackerel. And I looked up sardines and mackerel because, to be honest, I didn't know what they look like. Mackerel looked a little more fun to make as a bait. So about an hour ago, I did a test run, and I made this. It kind of looks like a mackerel. Like I said, it was my first time trying to do it. And I'm going to show you guys how I did it on the live. And hopefully by next week, I'll have my regular recording gear set up and ready to go. And I can do regular videos and record them, edit them, and upload them. Yeah. But anyway, so let me flip that back around. So yeah, I thought it came out pretty cool. Of my viewers that watch this channel, they watch because they want to see open pore, skin pouring. They want to see like techniques and stuff. Now, I didn't invent this. This is stuff I've learned from watching other people. So this is just, I've never seen anyone do a mackerel. So that's what I want to do, and I think it'll maybe open me up to like a different market than I already have. Because the I don't know. It'd be cool if someone caught a tuna on one of those little 6-inch, 7-inch swim baits that I sell. I would love that to happen. But anyway, I'm going to show you guys what we got going on here. And to save time and because I can't edit, I got the plastic all ready to go. So I already these are Angling AI 7¼ inch swim baits. I've already pre-capsuled them with plastic. So this is a coating of plastic. You can see I already poured in there. You can see right there is where it ends. And I just poured plastic in there and kind of dumped it out and just made a little capsule with the plastic. Chris Jones, I would never have thought of this if I had not seen the Chris Jones videos, World's Worst Fishing. And yeah, this is, like I said, this is nothing new or original that I invented, but it's new and original to me. I've never done it before until about an hour ago. And it makes it look a lot harder than it is. It was pretty easy. I thought those mackerel stripes were going to be impossible to paint on there. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to try and answer questions as people come in. I don't see tons of people in there right now anyway. So if you put something after the live is over, if you comment down below, I'll definitely get back and answer you. But anyway, what I've already done, like I said, capsuled the mold already. So this is plastic in there. It's really clear. I'm using a dead-on plastic. I use that for my open pours because I just like the way it works, and I like the way it pours. There's like I said, if you don't have, in my experience, if you don't have a vacuum chamber, if you're going to use dead-on plastic, you need a vacuum chamber. It's beautiful once you've prepped it and vacuumed it and everything, but you got to do that or it's going to be full of bubbles. I've never gotten dead-on plastic that didn't have bubbles in it. I'm not trying to talk bad about them or anything. It's their plastic's amazing, but you will have to have a vacuum chamber to use it. I vacuum all the plastic I use because I hate bubbles. If I can control whether there's going to be bubbles or not, I'm gonna find a way to get rid of it. Sometimes there's going to be bubbles and there's nothing you can do about it, and it doesn't ruin a bait just because there's a couple bubbles in there. But this looks pretty foamy if you don't vacuum it right. But anyway, I finally broke down and got some of this Lure Works SB coat. The dotting. Make sure you get the dotting to do what we're going to do today. The other stuff, the stuff that's the SB coat that doesn't say dotting, that's for your airbrush. This right here it's a lot thicker. So you're either gonna have to thin it way down if you use it in airbrush, or you're just gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use a very fine tip paintbrush. And I had looked at a picture of a mackerel earlier, and I'm just going to do what I saw on that. It doesn't take a lot. I'm just going to use what's in the cap right there. And I'm just going to try if I can get the phone a little more centered. There. So it's going to be cool doing it in real life and watching it on the camera at the same time. But this is all I did with that other one. I'm just going to grab a good amount of paint on this is a very fine tip paintbrush, and I'm just going to make some mackerel-y looking lines. Get another paintbrush. So usually in my regular videos, I would just do a little bit and then edit out a whole like 20-30 minutes, but on a live you guys just have to sit through all of it. But yeah, look, it's kind of like odd random jaggedy lines on a mackerel from what I can tell. I've only could tell you exactly what a mackerel looked like earlier this week when I decided I was going to do this, and they're just like jaggedy black lines, and they tend to stay above the halfway point of the bait. So I'm going to try and keep it on the top like third of the bait. Do you only use molds that you've purchased? I've never made my own mold. I made like a mold for lead, but I've never made my own like swim bait mold. I plan on doing it now that this is my gig, my full-time gig. I plan on it, but since I've opened, I've been getting a lot of orders. It's been busy with orders, which is a good thing. I mean, very, very happy about that and fortunate that I have such great customers and friends that patronize my business. I mean, my baits are. I like to think that they're pretty good. But anyway, see how I'm just kind of randomly drawing these lines? It's nothing like I'm not like an art major or anything. I'm just kind of making it look not uniform. And every now and then I do one of these Ys. Does that look kind of mackerel-y? I don't know how many ocean guys I got in here, but I'm definitely not one. So I'm going to be learning ocean fishing from square one. If you guys want to see a video, I'm thinking about taking the day off sometime next week when everyone else is at work and grabbing a setup and a few jigs of mine and just going to the bay and trying to see what I can catch. I see guys on YouTube out there catching like all kind of these calico bass and all kinds of stuff right there from the bay, just throwing like Kitex and stuff. I have ribbed swim baits. Obviously, you guys have seen them on my videos. So I'd love to go out and catch my first ocean fish out here on one of my own baits. Man, I knew there wasn't going to be a ton of people, but I was hoping there'd be more. Maybe they'll funnel in. What do you think so far? I think I'll save the lives for whenever I get a little bigger following. That's one of my my resolutions this year is to get more subscribers. Now that I don't have to Air Force every day, I have no excuses. I appreciate it, JD. Yeah, so you're gonna use those big 11-inch swim baits for striper or some like trophy bass. I guess if you're going to Yamamoto's ranch, yeah, explain that first of all. How you're going to Gary Yamamoto's ranch, friend of a friend, or you know them all. Cool, so that's one. And I'm going to do the other one really quick. You get something in the head there. There might be a little bit on their head. Cool. Yeah, I think this can here, for those that are wanting to maybe start doing some capsuling and painting like this in the future. I think that can was like what, somewhere between $12 and $8 and $12. It was very, very affordable, and I'm only using this much paint at a time, so this will probably last me till I die. So, well, good luck, man. Those I would love to see a bass that can eat one of those 11-inch swim baits. Oh, I didn't know you could pay to go there. That's crazy. You get a free bag of Cinco's, something whenever you get in. $80? That's not bad. I bet he's got some big ones in there. I bet you can't keep nothing. Or I guess most bass guys don't want to keep them anyway. I hope I get a lot of views after this gets published on the site or on the page. But yeah, I had some issues with my GoPros, and I was hoping to start recording today and just doing a regular video. But I was like, you know what? They changed the policy at YouTube, and you don't have to be monetized to go live anymore. Which I am not yet. That is a goal this year. But I got to do a lot more interesting stuff on my channel before I can think about that. Oh, nobody's there now. All right. Well, someone will learn how to make a mackerel. I'd be interested to know what he fishes with. Does he take a Cinco? Does he take a All right, almost done, guys. I know this is not the most exciting part. But that's what happens whenever I don't have my recording gear set up. Yeah, double-digit bass is definitely on my bucket list. I think my biggest bass, my PB is like 6.5 pounds, and that was one of those bass that was in our creek when I was a kid. In our backyard, we had a creek, and we all just took turns catching him. It was like the big bass in the pond or in the creek. Good times though. Just regular old Texas rigging crawfish or worms, and maybe every now and then some topwaters. Well, I need to get to 1,000. I'm only at 620 something, and then I got to get so many watch hours. But to get watch hours, I got to start making videos. You know, this summer was not every time I went out to fish. I either was a boring day on the water, or I didn't bring my camera the day I caught a nice flathead or some bass or crappie or whatever. And then I had boat issues on the water. Oh, it was a nightmare. But anyway, so I got both sides painted up, striped, as mackerel-y as I can make it. I'm going to clean this brush off because I hope to use it again. All right, so I'm going to do two different things here, just to see how the color turns out. You gotta let that dry a little bit. I'll go with the first one. Blow that a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. It's called Dorado. One of my favorites. I mean, just look at that. That stuff is gorgeous. I'm going to take that pearl powder, and I'm going to put a thin coat of it right on those stripes that we just made. And I'm not going to try and dust it up really thick. I just want a nice thin coat. It should be good and dry by now. And I'm going to go just below, and I want to leave like about the top millimeter. I want to leave that kind of clear because I want the top color I pour when it's actually when I'm actually pouring plastic into the mold, I want that to come through that top millimeter after seeing that one I did earlier. So I want to leave a little bit of that. See how I'm just lightly getting some blue on there? It doesn't look like a lot. Less is more, though. And like I said, I'm trying to keep it clear that top, like, millimeter or eighth of an inch. I want to go just below the line of the stripes, because that's kind of what the mackerel on the picture I went off of did. Just below the line. But you can kind of see it's starting to turn a little more mackerel looking, right? I'm loving this. And I've been wanting to do this for so long, but I never wanted to sit down and do it. I never had the time to just sit down and do it. I was always making orders or, you know, distracted by work. Not distracted anymore. But yeah, you can see kind of how that's going. Man, I love this powder. Gorgeous. You see how you can still see through? You can still see the mold on the other side of the pearl that I just dusted on there. So it's not like so thick you can't see through it, but you can definitely see that it made a difference, right? So now I'm going to do the other side, and I'm going to do the other side in a different color because I want y'all to tell me which one looks better. I did 2 different colors on the other bait as well, but I think I'm going to offer both. And trust me, if I start making these aren't going to be like these aren't going to be the same price as everything, because these are going to take forever to make. If someone wants a big batch of mackerels, it's going to take me like a day or 2 to get them done. And I only have one of this mold, so I'd have to make them in the smaller mold. Anyway, now I'm just going to take regular old pearl green, and I'm going to do the exact same thing I did with that blue. But we can look on each side of the bait after it's done and see how it turned out. Ooh, that had a lot of powder on it. All right. Oh, I appreciate it, JD. Not a lot of people are interested in painting plastic on a Friday night after they get off work. To be honest, that didn't even occur to me that it was Friday and people were going to be just getting off work until like right before the video started. So well, that powder's not getting on there. Guess I got to bunch it up a little better. The cool thing I did not expect from this green, it's just plain green pearl, is there's some gold in there that's coming out. Really, whenever you kind of hit the black striping I did, you can see some gold coming out, which really kind of made this even cooler than I thought it was going to be whenever I did my test run earlier. So yeah, this is not something I do all the time. This is the second time I've ever like capsuled a bait, lined it with the dotting paint, and dusted it. I've never done this before. But I can see thriving, getting better at this, and making some really cool baits with this technique. And the other guys, I know most of my viewers are open pore guys that want to learn more. This is something cool to learn. And for what, $12 max for that dotting paint at Lureworks. So SB coat is made specifically for soft plastic baits. You guys airbrush them. If you airbrush a soft plastic, they're using an SB coat. I'm sure there's some other brands out there, but I wouldn't even know where to look or find them. If you watch my channel, you've probably seen a guy named Solar Baits, who is amazing. But he uses some other brand from Europe that's paint designed for airbrushing soft plastics. I have no idea what the brand he used was called, but I know there's other brands out there. This stuff seems to be working really well. Those black lines that I drew on here, they dried really quick, and I was worried the first time I did this that they were going to start like running or splotching whenever I brush these paints on, or these powders on, but it's holding up pretty good. So I've got this one done. Maybe just a little more. Cool. And now that I'm done with that, oh crap, I'm going to heat up the hot plate and then start getting the other colors I already pre-made melted again so I can pour them. So I don't have one of those fancy, expensive bait things. Heating plates. There's like a real expensive brand that a buddy of Chris Jones made that was, I mean, you can set it exactly what temperature you want and all that stuff. But I kind of like earned my stripes on one of these guys. It's a $40 instant presto thing or whatever. Does the job for me. So this is what we got. This is the one with the green powder, and then there's the one with the blue powder. And we'll see which one looks better after it's done. But we got to get this mold heated up. We need it goot and hot. So, wow, I think I had 4 people in here a second ago. Whoever's in here watching, I appreciate you. All right. So, which color we got here? This is a color I made earlier. It's about 3/4 cup of plastic. There's 2 drops of Dead On Black and 2 drops of Phthalo Blue from Lureworks. My favorite blue. And it looks pretty. So let's get that melted again. Let this crank up. So I got it on about 350 just to get it nice and hot. Start it up. Thinking about doing my next video, edited video, about like some of the things that problems people run into when they open pour. Why some of their baits turn out kind of on the not good side. I don't want to say their baits suck, but sometimes you get cold cracks. Sometimes you overheat it and all that. I was thinking about doing something on that. See a lot of questions still on all the websites, all the Facebook groups, guys trying to figure out stuff on soft plastic. So after this is done, or if you got comments now, let me know, and I'll make the video on that. Or if you just want to see me go fishing, I want to see me go fishing. I want to go. I'm ready to grab my rod and reel and go down to the bay, because I haven't fished since October. And then I didn't even get to fish that day because my alternator belt went out on my boat and I had to go to the boat dealer, get a new belt in. That was my last fishing trip. Not fun. This is plastic I made about an hour and a half ago, and it's cooled off. So whenever you're remelting stuff, just go in small spurts. You can guarantee that you won't be able to burn it. You get it nice and evenly melted again. Just short spurts, a bunch of short spurt 30-second trips in the microwave. And it's not a lot of plastic, so it won't take long. But I got some new baits going on in the bait cave. I got this guy. It kind of looks like those old stretch 40s. Got a lot of attention whenever I first posted a picture, but I haven't sold any. No one's bought any. Everyone's into the crappie stuff, so the crappie stuff is doing really good. These are gorgeous. These hickory shads. Ugh, those are beautiful. I got these new lizards. I got some kind of like creature bait, like beaver looking baits, beaver style. Those are all new to the shop. No one. It's hard to win bass fishing customers. They're very loyal to their name brands, and for good reason. Those brands like Yamamoto and so, I mean, those are tried and true brands that changed the industry, you know. But it's hard to get bass guys unless they're your friend. You get a lot of bass guys that are like your buddy, you know. But winning new customers just strolling through your website, you don't get a lot of bass customers, or I don't. Let's see how hot that is. Oh, you guys know what? I forgot something on my mold. So I hope it didn't get too hot. That's what happens when you can't edit your video. You get to see all the mistakes I make. So, while that stuff is melting, I gotta put some of this on there because mackerels are like shiny metallic looking bait fish. So I got this really cool stuff called sterling silver. It's meant for car paint. The place I buy it from is like sold out. They haven't had it all summer. They still don't have it. But what I'm gonna do the exact same thing, but on the belly with this stuff. So let me grab this. You can see that. I'm just gonna dust the bottom portion with this sterling silver plastic. Yeah, that plastic got that mold got pretty hot. That's a lot. All right. And guys, whenever you're doing this, I'm not doing it because I'm talking to a live audience, but these particulates and this stuff is like your mom's nail polish remover on steroids. This stuff is, that is like way better. Like the fumes cannot be good off of that. I'm always wearing my respirator. It's right here. You won't be able to understand me if I'm wearing that during these. But you don't want to be doing this on a regular basis without a respirator or something. All right. Now it's really starting to look like a bait fish, huh? Yeah, I'm sure I'll get more efficient at this, but these won't be cheap. If anyone wants a custom pack of mackerels with the hand painting and everything, it's not going to be cheap. All right. So what I like about this technique is I didn't do anything super like difficult, or like you don't have to be an art major or like an artist to like I'm kind of, the more sloppy you are, the better, actually. I mean, it's I'm just kind of randomly moving my brush, you know. So I think anyone can probably do this. All right. Now we can put it back on the mold, or on the griddle. And it needs to get much hotter. All right. Which worms are you talking about? I got several kinds of worms. Are you talking about the stretch 40s? The stretch 40s I think are like 6 something a bag. It's a pack of 8. But I only have one mold of it, so I can't pump a bunch out. And that's why there's only a little bit up there. But if you go to my website, it'll have the exact price. It's somewhere around like $6 a bag. And they use a lot of plastic too. Those are big, thick, meaty baits. And they got salt in them. I salt them up really good. Oh, I appreciate it, man. If you wait till February, I'm going to be sending out from February 1st to the 14th, trying to get all that Valentine's money before you guys blow it on your girls. But I'm running a like 20% off sale, like kind of like a grand reopening business sale for 2 weeks. So wait till February 1st, then put your order in, because I'll have a code for everyone to use and save. It's 20% off. That's pretty, for a small business like me, that's a pretty significant discount. But since everyone waited on me and was so support, I mean, I could not have done any of this without, like, first of all, my wife. I can't believe she's letting me do this for a living. My friends and past customers, they've all been great, very encouraging, because you get a lot of self-doubt doing like a YouTube channel and having a business. And it's easy to overcome when you have people like my wife and all my friends and family and my awesome customers. So yeah, that helps. But the grand reopening is a big thank you to everyone. So I'll have that. Look at my Facebook page and you'll see that code pop up on the 1st. Unless you're already subscribed to my mailing list and you already have the code, but it won't work until then. Okay, guys, we're just waiting on plastic to melt. That stuff looks really cool in there. Oh, I think this bait's gonna look really cool, guys. And gals, if there's any watching. There usually isn't. So who all's watching? Let me know who you are. It says there's 3 people in here. We're going on 40 minutes. God, that 40 minutes flew by. I hope YouTube doesn't have a time limit for lives, because this might go over. This is just regular plastic with some of that sterling silver in there. I didn't need a lot because I dusted the bait with it. So I just wanted a little bit in there. The never-ending battle of melting plastic on camera. Man, you know, I knew there was going to be like a low people in here, but I kind of thought there'd be more than 3. But I appreciate you guys that are in here, even if you're not telling me who you are. I think one more run on the microwave, and this first coat will be ready to go. So for this, or my heating surface, I like to get the mold heat. I put it on 300. I pour the first layer, like the belly layer. Then usually what I do is I crank it up to max, and I pour the top layer. And as soon as the top starts cooking off water immediately, like kind of like a frying pan, then I know I can turn the heat off and just let it sit. But if you're pouring open pour molds without heat, I don't know how you're doing it. Let's get a quick temperature on this bad boy. That's about good. The only thing is, look at all those bubbles. See the bubbles? No good. I just throw it in the vacuum chamber real quick and suck those bubbles out. But yeah, surprisingly, this was like super easy to build. Took me like, I don't know, like an hour and a half just in the garage. I mean, just got some basic Home Depot parts and some lumber and ready to go. The casters make it like amazing. How long or what? These? You're talking about these? Those are 5 1/4. I think I like the blue side better than the green side. Almost. Look at all that air that's coming out. And I know when it gets to right about that 29 inches of mercury, that's when I know it's about done. Yeah, once it gets to 29 or negative 29 inches of mercury, that's about all the vacuum suction I'm going to get on this thing. So I just kind of let it sit, let that run. Now, whenever I let this out, it's already kind of vacuumed or degassed, but I let it sit there for a sec. And now watch when I let the air back in. Good as new. I think we can go right to the mold and pour this now, because I like to pour the belly and the top layer pretty cold. And when I say cold, I'm talking like 330, 340. That's pretty cold for mine. Still bubbles in there. they're not going to show up. So I'm going to just lightly pour it slow. I'm trying to get over that hook slot. And to be honest, now that I've painted it so far back, I'm going to try and get it as far as I can without it going into the tail. Kind of see that silver plastic running backwards. Let's see if I can get it just a little bit more. Might have overdone it because I just don't want it to go back into the back of that tail. See how it's trying to make its way back? It kind of stopped. Cool. I'm going to let that continue to heat. We'll check out the other layer. Started to reset up. We'll melt that. Maybe crank it up a little bit more to 350. Oh, and the one thing about this garage that sucks is it's all in the same, like one plug-in is the same as all the other plug-ins. They're just kind of like extension cords. So I can't put two, like this thing puts it sucks a whole bunch of electricity. So whenever I'm running this, I try to lightly use everything else. You mean in the mold? I'm trying to let it set up a little bit right here. So I've poured it. I don't want it so hot that it's gonna stay melted, but I don't want it to like get like set up, if that makes any sense. So initially I get the plastic just to get it from, this is what it looks like in the jug. It looks like milk. To get it from this to that, you have to get it up to 350 degrees. Like throughout the thing, not just one measurement of 350. You have to completely heat up the whole glass of plastic to 350. Now, once it's at 350, the workable range is like 285. I've seen guys that shoot 290. I like to pour my layers around 330, anywhere from 320 up to 340. I used to pour it hot, but then I realized that if I pour it too hot, the tops of the baits were getting those troughs in the back. You want to get the temperature of the plastic as close as you can to this. You don't want it to be too hot because, you know, as soon as it cools, it's going to want to contract. And that just sucks in on itself. I got this vacuum chamber from Bait Plastics. I think it was like $200. But guys buy the cheap ones on Amazon, and they tend to do all right, but you end up having to buy a new one pretty quick. I've seen a lot of guys complaining about their vacuum chambers because they bought the cheap one on Amazon or whatever. I just went and got one that was made for exactly what I'm doing. But it's a light. I couldn't do anything without my vacuum chamber. I wouldn't even bother open pouring. I could probably get away with the injection stuff without doing the bubbles, but I use Bait Plastics, which notoriously the bubbles just kind of come out. I still vacuum it when it's in the milk phase. Just because I'm psycho about bubbles. But yeah, it pays for itself in quality. The vacuum chamber does. Man, I can't wait to see this bait. I might have to re-vacuum this. I'm telling you that the dead-on plastic is great. It's the best pouring plastic you can get, but it's just the bubbles. The bubbles suck. However, the juice is definitely worth the squeeze. I wouldn't go through this vacuuming and stuff all the time if I didn't think it was worth it. We can watch this. See all the bubbles around the side of the cup? You see where the gauge is? See all that air get in there? It's crazy how fast the time goes by when you're on these lives. And I think we're going to be ready to pour the last layer. I'm going to max it out. It's on max heat. So this is the top color, and I just put 2 drops of black, dead on black, and 2 drops of phthalo blue. That Lure Works phthalo blue. This stuff is, oh, so pretty. But when you mix them together, you get this kind of like darkish, deep blue. And there's still bubbles in there, but we're at an hour almost now, so I just want to get this done. And, oh, look how cool that looks. Easy does it. It's not a race. You'll see a lot of guys get into the hobby, and then immediately they'll have their open pour molds for sale on the Facebook groups, which is sad because it's just a little bit of patience and a whole lot of practice, and you can pour some amazing stuff. There's stuff I've poured that I was like, God, there's no way I'd be able to make that. And now I have people buying stuff from me. So and trust me, mine look just as bad, if not worse, than the stuff all the newbies start getting into. My stuff was atrocious when I first started doing this. But you just have to have that patience. You have to like expect to have your hand sitting there with a thing of plastic for a while. It's kind of monotonous, but sometimes it's just patience is all it is. Oh, that color's gonna turn out so good. Now, see how it's burning off immediately? We know we can turn this heat off because it's gotten hot enough. I'm going to turn that off. I will let it cool. We're not going to sit because it's going to take like an hour to cool. So what I'm going to do is whenever the bait's done, I'm just going to post a picture of it on the YouTube community. So everyone can see how even that is. Oh, sorry. See how even that is with the mold? That's what you want. So what happens is if you pour this too hot, as it cools, that right down the center, it starts to trough, starts to suck in on itself. You want to let it cool. You want the plastic to cool at as close of a rate as the metal's going to cool. Because whenever we heated this up and melted it, all that plastic expanded, right? We want it all to kind of cool off at an even keel. That's how you get the troughs. Or that's how I've found to make those troughs go away. Pour this colder, let them slowly cool. But I can make a whole video on that. So one more time, I'll show you the original one I did. I think this one, the one I just poured, is going to look a lot better. But it looks like kind of like a mackerel, especially because it's kind of shiny. Wonder what color eyes mackerels have. It's gonna be one of these. They have red eyes, gold. Gold eyes look good, or I got plain silver, like good, like kind of like holographic silver eyes. I think those will be the ticket. What do y'all think? Should I go with these? I'll look at a picture whenever I get off here. I also have some of these. Oh, these are nice. Maybe I'll go with these. Those are pretty. Yep, those are the winner. Cool. Well, it's great being back. Loving it. Business is good so far. Selling lots of, getting lots of orders. The videos are going to be back on track from now going forward. And yeah, tell your friends. I need subscribers, so subscribe. But let me know if there's like videos y'all want to see, like things you want to know. If you want me to go fishing, I'll go fishing. If you guys have got open pouring questions, I know how to open pour. So I appreciate you guys coming and checking it out and waiting on me all summer and winter. It's almost spring. Jeez, it's time to go crappie fishing. But tight lines, welcome back. I appreciate y'all and thank you. I'll see you guys next time.